Hello and welcome back to Hytale. As you can see from my attire here, we are going to do some archaeology. However, I do want to sort of give you a little bit of a caveat to that. This is still the early release, so we can't assume that it's going to stay like this forever. So definitely going to sort of just take a more surface level look at stuff. So let's look at this, where you first spawn into. These are definitely ruins. However, you've got these braziers that are still on fire, and significantly, this candle that is still on fire. That means that someone or some group of people have been in here and have been sort of doing some sort of upkeep here. But not much, because the walls have sort of fallen in. You got some rubble here. Some of this ground has sort of chipped away. Stairs here have sort of gone away. And it actually looks like the stairs here are just a deteriorated version of this, which is what I would guess, sort of looking at this, but you know, who knows? So yeah, this is definitely something old, but has seen some upkeep over the years, meaning it must have some sort of significance. And the fact that you spawn in here is probably the significance. So let's go ahead and hop on out into the world. This is nice. This is very nice. Okay, so what we're going to do is normally I would expose this. This was kind of my plan, was to expose this to see what the overall shape looked like. But the more I look at it, the more I realize there's a lot of material here. So maybe we expose this at some point to see what the original shape of this looked like, and maybe even rebuild it. We might do that. We might do that this episode. Who knows? I'm sort of just flying off of the seat of my pants. So let's move around and see what we can find. Okay, so let's look at this. This is a camp, and this is not archaeology, because it is still currently occupied by these handsome gentlemen here. So let's move on. I came over this way because we've got this. This is one of the major sort of areas in this game. This is the, what is it, the Forgotten Temple? Is that what they call it? The Forgotten Temple Gateway. That's right, the Forgotten Temple's later on. So let's look at this, shall we? So we've got these very tall towers that have some damage. Well, actually, no, they don't. I figured the roof caving in was damaged, but if you look inside here, there's no rubble, and this is actually very well put together. So the towers here are fairly pristine. And since we are in creative mode, normally we wouldn't do this, but let's look inside. Okay, so there's nothing inside. That is just a solid tower all the way through. So that's interesting. Now, again, as archaeologists probably would not have ever done that. But what's also interesting about this is we've got this walkway here that has fallen down, that is messed up. So obviously, you know, upkeep has been held up on the towers, but not the walkways for some reason. Furthermore, the walkways would lead here, but there's nothing really here on the roof that you would really sort of look at. I'm not really sure what's going on here. You have walkways that don't really go anywhere. Okay. This tower's got a tree growing through it. That's fairly common with ruins. I mean, we see that a lot with ruins. Trees growing in them, through them, stuff like that. It's because a lot of times you have things that are subsurface that retain water. So like a floor or something like that would retain water, and because of that, it would be a much more moist area than its surroundings, and so you'd have a tree growing in it. But generally speaking, towers look good. Walkways have deteriorated, which tells us that the walkways are most likely not that important, not that significant. Hello, sir. So you've got statues. I believe they call this the Sleeping Goddess statue in front of this brazier. If I were to find this in the wild, right, with a brazier, obviously not still lit, but you know, statue with a brazier in front of it, dude, come on, you're in my way. I would assume that this brazier is some sort of sacrificial altar. That's what I would think. I would think that this is a sacrificial altar to a depiction of whatever goddess this is supposed to be. And you would come here and throw, I don't know, something that is important to the goddess. So if I were to turn that off, this is kind of what you would expect to see, is something like this, or assuming that that's what was going on. And I would actually look into the contents in here and have them analyzed, residues, things like that, see what was being burnt here for this goddess. And from there, we could make some sort of, you know, assumptions based on what we're finding. All right, so here we have the inside of this temple gateway, at least the first. So this is the initial chamber. We've got benches, we've got an altar to the goddess, we've got whatever the heck this thing is. Don't know what that is. We have what looks to be some sort of offering here. Also an offering there. Maybe the bucket's an offering. But the big thing is that we've got these benches that are facing this way. I guess they could be facing the door too, but you've got this area here that is dedicated to this goddess, where people would sit. Yeah. If it were me and I came in here and saw these benches, I would assume you were facing this way, facing the goddess, and either somebody was standing here on this little platform talking to you, or maybe what's behind here? Oh, you might actually have someone who stands behind this pillar here, speaking as though they are speaking from the mouth of the goddess. I mean, look at this. There's this little area here. So yeah, this is most likely a place of worship or reverence or something like that. The fact that there are benches here suggests people are sitting. The fact that this statue is here suggests that they are facing the statue. And the fact that there is a cubby hole back behind there suggests that there might be someone back behind there. Interesting. Let's go down. This hallway, very overgrown, sort of falling apart. So again, since there are candles here, more than likely people are taking care of this, but only to a certain extent. They're allowing this temple gateway along with the spawn area to collapse, which suggests that they are that they think that the life of the temple is important. The life of these structures is important, so that they are allowing to decay, which is something that you do see in some societies. For example, the ancestral Puebloans, a lot of them think that the structures of their ancestors should be allowed to decay over time, because that is the life cycle of those structures. That might be what we have going on here. The people might be coming in here and keeping this or giving it some upkeep to the extent that they are not keeping this structure from decaying and falling apart, because that is its natural life cycle. So there's a lot of things that we can glean from this, just from looking at this structure archaeologically. So let's move on down here. Okay, I'll discuss this guy here in a second, but let's look at some of these side rooms for a second. Actually, let me get a torch here. So you have this little side room. Again, You have some things here that suggest that it's falling apart, which means that they are not doing upkeep to the structure itself and allowing it to decay. But you also have this. You've got this statue again here. It's in this little nook, which is pretty interesting. Over here, you've got the same thing. You've got this little nook, though it's not going down like that one, and another statue of the same goddess. What is this? How come I wish I could see what these things are. I'm sure that they're here. Let's see if I can. Nope. Okay. I don't know how to do it. So another little nook, but this time you've got bones. Are people being buried here? Is that someone who fell victim to this gentleman right here? We don't really know. Yeah, you can't really tell. What is interesting, though, is, of course, this. You've got this. You've got this goddess here, and the other goddess directly across in these little nooks. Are these little prayer areas? Are they individual sort of sacrifice areas before heading into this portal here? We don't really know. Not really sure. But again, a lot of this is sort of falling apart. It would be cool to come in here and actually try to restore this to its original glory. And we may just do that. I'm a little hesitant to do that since this is early access and it is not the finished product. But, you know, hey, maybe we do it and then we check it in sort of relation to how it looks after it has been sort of, you know, given its full release. Okay, let's go ahead and go into here. Hello, sir. You're doing a great job. Yes, you are. If I had something to give you, I would give you something. But doing a great job. Keep it up, my friend. All right. So, Forgotten Temple. Yep. I would like to point out that you have a lot of the same things. Again, this general decay. But an obvious upkeep because these aren't decayed at all. The benches are not broken. And you've got this. So, yeah. More depictions of the goddess here. Whew. This music is very loud. I hope this recording is fine. Actually, let me check that. Okay. I had to turn the volume down because I didn't realize how loud it was. So, my apologies about that. Okay. Let's do a couple of quick things. Let's go over here. In this little side area here. Again, decay. Things coming through. I'm starting to believe that this civilization is sort of allowing this structure to sort of live through its life stages. Statues here of warriors. Very interesting. There was probably other statues of these warriors right here. But we've got a room with currently 4 statues of warriors. Might have been 6. Out this side, though, nothing. Nothing. You got void. Did that just make your butthole pucker, me doing that? Because it made mine there for a second. Okay. Now let's go off to this side one. Even more decay. And what's interesting, you got warriors over there, and you've got this one over here. I don't remember the name of this one off the top of my head. But yeah, and it's just the one. We do have a pillar here, and then nothing else. So, here we are. A lot of you are probably thinking, oh, I bet this is wonderful for you with your sort of Greek academia background. And generally, I would agree with you. But there are some arches here which suggest Roman. But yeah, I am digging this. So let's look at this big one here. Yet another goddess statue, but then nothing else. And it's just void back behind here. But it is a tower, so that's nice. tower that, of course, is being overgrown. Where's all this dirt coming from? I don't know. But you got some other things here. You got some more towers. Again, they're being overgrown. You do have walkways that have not fallen apart, so that's good. But you do have this, where it has fallen apart. So again, they're leaving it to decay. Floating little islands, that's cool. So what can we tell from this area? Well, a lot of what we can tell from the other areas too. You have people who are generally doing upkeep here, but are not concerned with the structures themselves falling apart. So that's got to be some part of the culture of whoever these folks are. Hello. It's work in progress, I see. Yep, can't get in. That's okay. More works in progress over here. So we'll have to sort of delay our analysis of that until the work in progress is done, until it's on the full release. A general recap of what I think is going on here is that you have a society that has some sort of reverence for these structures, that obviously does some upkeep, but is still allowing the structures to decay. So it's allowing the structures to live their life cycle fully. Could that mean that this is some sort of animist religion? Maybe. Maybe not. Hello, sir. Thank you for letting me through. I would like to rebuild some of these things to their former glory. That would be a really cool experiment. Okay, let's go check some other things out. Okay, so throughout this world, there seems to be this sort of standard ruins type of thing. They are a little different each time I find them, or at least there's a couple different types. But generally, they have this stairway and then some sort of flat top area and then some sort of hole through here. This looks like a road. This definitely looks like a road or a bridge of some sort that you would then sort of use to come across here. But in order to really get to the bottom of that and see if that is in fact the case, let's clear out some of this dirt.
A few minutes later.
Okay, so now we can get a slightly better look at it. This is made of mostly quartzite, which is a fine stone to use, I suppose. But it's going to be brick, cobble, and then solid quartzite, so I assume that that is the sort of way in which it degrades. But yeah, you've got basically what looks like some sort of walled road leading up to some stairs, and then up to this. What are these? These are stone brick, smooth stone bricks. So they're sort of what's the word I'm looking for? They're making it sort of decorative, but it's pretty tall and it goes pretty deep. Check this out. So this is all quartzite that goes all the way down. So either they're building this directly out of the natural quartzite in the area, or they're stacking quartzite underneath to build this. So that's kind of interesting. But it definitely looks like some sort of bridge or road, and it ends abruptly right here. And I don't see it continuing on. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with some sort of road. Another one. Okay, so let's check this out. So here's the thing. These have some sort of significance. I mean, they're all over this world. Oh, wow. This one's a little more intricate here. We got some bones, which, you know, sucks to be that dude. Got a little bench to sit, which is a little morbid, seeing as how, you know, you'd be sitting sort of just checking out the dead dude. But yeah, so it looks like more of these types of structures, and the reason why I'm sort of lumping this one in with the other one is because, well, it's got the verticality and it's got this up top, just like the other one. So some sort of walkway? Again, not really sure what's going on with that. Yeah, this is odd, the way this one's constructed. Oh, how did I fly right past this one? Well, if that isn't telling, I don't know what is. You've got obviously a walkway, just like the other one. All right, so you come up here, and then you've got this that goes towards the hidden temple gateway. Little off center. Oh, and then another one right here. I wonder if that means that there's something underneath this. Let's do some quick digging, shall we? Lots of quartzite. You've got this brick here, which suggests there's something else going on. Oh. Another brick. Okay, there's definitely something here. So you've got this walkway that comes up. This goes really deep down in here. And then you've got this over here. I'm thinking, yeah, there's definitely something here. Now, this, of course, is not systematic excavation. This is just exploratory stuff that I'm doing with sort of a throwaway world. Oh yeah, look at it. It keeps going this way. But this is definitely something that in the real world we would do systematic excavation for. But for right now, let's just see where this goes. Quartzite cobble. Yeah, so it extends all the way out to here. And then there, look at that. There's some brick right there. So in archaeology terms, this right here, this little hill, would be called a tell site. Tell is basically like a little hill that has ruins or something underneath it. This is definitely a tell site. This would be something that we would sort of grid off and do a systematic excavation of, which I can do. If you guys want to see something like that in future videos, I can do something like that with structures like this. But this, there's a lot of material here that I'd have to clear away before we could get to any kind of analysis of this. But this is definitely something that is definitely something I would get into. I could see myself getting into and doing an excavation of this. So let me know. We will do that. I'll probably do it anyways, but let me know. Just say, you know, I don't know. Just say yes in the comments again. But if you're seeing this like a year from now, don't leave yes. It's annoying. So just go watch the video where I probably excavate one of these. But yeah, this is definitely a tell site. Do we see anything in what we would call the scarp, which is this right here? Anything in the scarp? Nope. This is all just, what is this? Marble. Okay, so this is all just marble. Nothing in the scarp. This is gravel, except for right here, because this is quartzite cobble. in the scarp. And then over here, we just have some of the ruins showing through. Do we have anything showing in the scarp over here? No. No, we don't. But this might be just one big site here. So, you know, maybe we excavate something like this in the future. Oh, there's more over here. Holy crap. Look at this. Wait, is this what I just excavated? No, it's not. Okay. This deserves some sort of mapping, because I'm seeing sort of a connected network of these things already. You got this that leads up to that. Are these directly in line? Let's see. Shooting straight to the east. Yeah, I think mapping some of this network. Look, there's another one over here. Or is that the one I was just at? Nope. Holy crap. There's all kinds of ruins around here. Can we see these on the map? Yes, we can. See, there's another one. There's one. That looks like something. That looks like it might be overgrown. Let's go look at that real quick. Because if this is an overgrown version of one of these, then yeah, we can absolutely start looking at the map and making some sort of analysis of the shapes and stuff. So let's get out of here. I need to turn around, go back halfway to this one, or almost to this, but yeah. Is it this right here? Oh no, it's this right here. How did I fly right past this? Hello, sir. Can you tell me anything about this place? Excuse me, hello? Yes, no, maybe so? Okay. Okay, so yes, this is more ruins. Okay. So, looks like I am going to be doing some excavations of this place. Maybe not this world. Maybe I generate a new world and do it there. Editing Voskalos here. So I'm noticing a lot more stuff while editing this than I did while recording this. Like a lot more. I have a lot of notes now. So it looks like we're going to do some more archaeological exploration of this place. Let's check this right here and see what we got. See if there's anything that is telling. Oh. What is this? Gravel. Okay. Thought maybe that was going to be more quartzite. Quartzite, if you don't know, is a igneous rock. Some people make tools out of them. I've found many a quartzite stone tool. But, you know, you could definitely make some sort of brick out of it. Anything in this scarp here? I don't know if I'm using that word correctly. It's a word that I have learned recently. Duck. Okay. And there's another one of these. Yeah. Okay. Looks like there is a whole network of these here. Ah, okay. Look at this. We got some fences. We got farms. What is this made out of? This is made out of cobblestone. Okay. Oh, look at how nice this is. It's got beams. All right, tell you what. Let's, man, if I were to find this in a regular playthrough, I would totally rebuild this to make a my base. This is a nice little place. Yeah. Well, tell you what. Let's remake it, shall we? I mean, there's not much here. I don't see any chests or anything to be able to look and see what's going on. It looks like there was a farm of some sort right here. Yeah, it kind of wrapped around. Very nice. What is this just dirt? What is this? Pathway. Okay. So there was a pathway at some point. Yeah. Let's rebuild this, shall we? Or at least, well, no. Maybe we could do that another episode.
Come on. Do it! Do it!
Yeah. That's, okay. I mean, the beams, it's fine. Okay. So, there you have it. Let's do some more archaeology, shall we? I think next time we are going to do an actual archaeological excavation. Like, grid it out and do systematic excavation down layer by layer. Maybe I invite some people on. I don't know. We'll see. Let's keep riding this hype train for a bit. All right. See you next time. This is all very nice.